with us in our studio audience today. The first one's Anna Mae. Anna Mae, pop up and tell us what your issue is.
Hi.
Hi.
My problem is I downsized and I went shopping for some curtains and I got tired of looking, so I decided to get a neutral color, which was white. I got them home, I put them up, and I'm not thrilled with them, but I didn't feel like taking them back to the store. So I was hoping that you had some suggestions.
Window dressing.
Window dressing, super
Yes.
common question, so thank you for coming and asking it. I know you get a million questions about window treatments. I get, over 20 years, 100 questions like a day. But here's the thing. So I'm going to ask you to take them back to the store. Sorry, but, you know, I'm not going to come to Rachel's show and lie to you, Anna Mae. But here's the thing. So a couple of things to think about when you're doing window treatments. Number one, in an area where there's food preparation or steam or smells or things like that, it's usually better not to use a textile. So it's usually better to use a shade or a woven blind or something like that. The other thing is that I do like the color white, I will say, so bravo. But what's interesting about this is I would have done a blind typically that fits inside the frame of the window here. One thing that you should have in mind as well, though, is that if you order a blind that's actually wider than the window by about 3 to 4 inches on both sides, you can actually mount it almost to the ceiling and keep it down so that it hangs just above the top molding. That makes your windows look like they go all the way up to the ceiling and makes the ceiling feel higher. So 2 tips for this application.
That's a great one.
It's true.
Moving on to Susan. Susan, hi.
Hi, Susan.
16 years ago, we built our home. In order to move in quickly, we painted it all one color. 16 years later, I am paralyzed to pick a color. So we did make an attempt.
Okay.
I thought I'm going to go out of the box, and there's a tree now in front of that corner where I made my attempt because I'm like, So I am paint paranoid. I will go to the paint store and I will take one of every color to try and decide on what I should do.
What? So there's your sample that you have a tree in front of now. That's amazing. Okay. One way to do it, people. I love it. So, you know, what is the reason, do you think, that you haven't been able to lock into a color?
Well, because the room is long.
Okay.
My kitchen runs right into my family room.
Okay.
So the back wall where the television is, I'm confused if that should be a different color, like an accent wall, and how to blend it in from my kitchen to that room.
Okay, so here's what I would say. Let's go over here to our little paint world. The thing is, I actually think that the color that you have on the wall hidden behind the tree is the right color for the room.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And I was going to suggest that you do like either a light tan, you know, sort of like this color, which is a great sort of warmer neutral, more like a much softer sort of neutral than the white walls that you have now, or a pale gray color. But looking at the landscaping that you have through your windows, how green and lush the space feels, looking at how cozy and comfortable that room is with the leather furniture and the heavy textured rug, I love the idea of the darker color to the right of the tree. You can see it peeking out behind that corner.
I love it.
And I think there's something interesting about going with your instinct and really going for it. Couple of things I want you to have in mind. I don't believe in accent walls. I don't like them. I think it shows a lack of commitment. It's like you're a bad dater. If you love a color, do the whole room in that color. And I also think for an upgrade, I would love to see actually one of those 2 colors that you had originally liked, and maybe the doors go in the same family. You keep the white baseboard, the white trim around them, but the doors themselves go a putty or a taupe. And a great rule of thumb when you're trying to work with colors on trim, walls, and baseboards is that it's a 60-30-10 rule. Most of the room is 60% one color, 30% is an accent, and then 10% is something brighter. to
Okay.
kind of get that going. And that 10% can be a pillow or a new throw on a sofa. But so remember that, and I would go deep. I like it a lot.
The deep color.
Yeah.
Look how good you are.